Hi, my name is Sarah Harnish and I'm a Young Living Diamond. The average diamond's income every single month is $30,000. $30,000. I've been on this journey with Young Living for 2.5 years. I know that you came here to hear a class, and that's how my oils journey started too, but this is the best secret that I know, and I can't keep it under the rug without sharing just a little bit with you before I let you leave this class. If you are starting to fall in love with oils, just like I have, there's one more thing that you need to know before you leave. Maybe you're in a place where you can't afford to get them in your home. You want to go get a starter kit right now. Maybe you can afford to get them in your home, but you can't get on Essential Rewards and have them shipped to you every single month. And you have a passion and you want to live a chemical-free lifestyle, but you're not in that place where you can add that to your budget every single month. Maybe you are in a place where you could add it to your budget every single month, but it breaks your heart to see your family and your friends living in a place where they can't. Maybe you want to pass that passion on to them. Maybe you have a great income right now and you love what you're doing and you're passionate about what you're doing, but you have nothing for your family. You have nothing left. You have nothing left over at the end of the month. Maybe you're doing what you're called and created to do, but you're under so much stress that you don't feel like you can function in your 9-to-5 job. Can you give me just a moment to speak to you? Just a moment before you leave, and you got all of this incredible oils information in your head, because there's one more piece to Young Living that is so critical that you know. When I first started and I got my starter kit, my whole world was about oils and oils only. I would just get lost in it. I was so excited about what the oils did for my family and so many of the things that I saw. And then it became about seeing all of the different people that were affected and impacted by the oils. But now my passion is to see people released from poverty. If you can find a way to take your passion for the oils and transform that into sharing about the oils, this has unlimited potential for you. Unlimited potential. Let me share for just a moment where I was when I got my starter kit. I grew up in a home that was very, very impoverished in suburban Chicago. My father's an alcoholic. My mom was just released from 40 years of abuse, verbal and physical abuse. And there was one day we were coming home on a school bus, and there was a drug raid on a home that was really close to our home, and there were SWAT teams going in. There was a helicopter that flew over a bus, and our bus was stopped there for 45 minutes. And we had to wait while they were going and raiding this home for drugs. It was at a gang territory ground where they did drug trading, so there was a lot of gang activity on both sides of where we lived, and this is where they met to trade drugs. So we had a lot of encounters with gangs when I was growing up. I met my husband when I was 16 years old, and we got engaged 3 weeks after I met, and we're just about to celebrate my 19th wedding anniversary. We've got 5 beautiful kids. But we lived in poverty when we first got married because we were so young. And so the first year we were married, John worked a full-time job at a gas station, and then he slept a little bit, and then he worked another full-time job overnight at a competing gas station. The first year we were married, I had a job typing addresses 40 hours a week. You get tired of that, like the first 2 hours that you're typing. I did that 40 hours a week, and then at night I had a 21-hour course load in college. And then on the nights I didn't have school, I had a part-time job at a Christian bookstore, and I was pregnant with our firstborn son. So the first year we were married, we had 3 full-time jobs, a part-time job. I had a 21-hour course load, and I was pregnant with Gabriel. And it was hard. We got eviction notices every single month. Fast forward a year, we moved in with my parents, and we rented a classroom in a school filled with mold, and we lived there until we could get into the projects, because there was a waiting list for the projects. First projects we lived in, we didn't have any furniture for our kids. Our kids slept on mattresses on the floor, and the house was made out of cinder block, and there were tiled floors and cockroaches. It was row housing, it was cockroaches. And then we moved into the projects again. We lived in the projects for 12 years. On the link card for food, we frequented 3 food pantries. We had WIC assistance. We had LIHEAP heating assistance. We had medical card assistance. We lived in government housing. And that's the way that we survived, because we couldn't take on any more work. We were at the max of what we could physically handle. And I remember I was right in between 2 jobs. I had one job in Illinois and then a second job that I was taking in New York, and I had 4 days to come back and pack my home, have Christmas with my kids, and leave. And we looked in our bank account, and there was only a couple dollars in the account. And I remember turning to John saying, "We're not going to be able to have Christmas this year. Like, it's not going to happen. There's no way." And he looked at me and he said, "Well, let's just pray about it." And we were praying, and the phone rang, and it was the Salvation Army. And they said, "Sarah, your name was picked in a lottery to come and get gifts for your kids, and would you like to come pick them up tomorrow?" So I drove out there, and it was a gym filled with presents, and I was able to get 3 toys for each child, and a board game for our family, and a jacket for each of the kids, and some boots and hats and the gloves. And I put it in the back of my car, and I just lost it. I lost it for my childhood and growing up. I lost it for watching my dad and having concerts in my bedroom with plastic ice cream cones so my siblings couldn't hear my dad and my mom. I lost it for all the years of poverty and not having food and having to choose between putting gas in my car to go to work or feeding my children, digging through the couch to find a quarter so we could get bread for the kids, and John and I would go hungry. I just wept, and I lost it and said, "God, no more. I'm done. Poverty over. I'm finished. I'm not living like this anymore." Whatever generational curse is over our family, I declare an end to it. I'm asking the boldest prayer I've ever prayed in my life, and that is for the Moses blessing. If you go back to the story of Exodus, Moses went up on the mountain and only wanted was to see the face of God, and he waited 40 days, and God showed up, and his glory was so great he couldn't actually lift his face off the ground. He was so bright he couldn't even see the blessing of being in his presence. Then he went down the mountain and he was glowing because he'd been in the presence of the creator of the universe. And that's what the Moses blessing is. It's a blessing that is emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, financial, relational. It's such a blessing upon you that your family and friends are blessed just by being around you, that you impact people that you've never even met because of that blessing on your life. And that is the blessing that Young Living has brought to our lives. The Lord used Young Living as a mechanism to bring that blessing upon us. When I got my starter kit, I was working at 4 o'clock in the morning. I worked 6 to 8 hours a day. I would come home. I homeschool 5 children. One of them is special needs. And it was hard. It was really, really hard. And I was tired every single day. I got up at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I would go in and anchor. And I was such a weary mom. I had no friend circle. I lived in the middle of nowhere. I was always on the edge of complete exhaustion. We were always in survival mode. We would save the $1,000, in our bank accounts, and then our head gasket would go out in our car, or we need new tires, or it's time to put the kids in camp for the summer for a week, or the water heater would go out in our house, and we were just living from one crisis to the next to the next. I will tell you, the Bible says, "For I know the plans I have for you," says the Lord, plans for a hope and future, plans to prosper you. I believe with all of my heart that if you consider this as a business, the places that the Lord can take you are incredible. Incredible. Our lives are not the same as they were 2.5 years ago. We are forever changed from a starter kit and a 3-page script. So much so that I wrote an entire book about it called Game Plan that breaks it into tiny little bite-sized pieces. It's as hard as getting a 3-page script in your hands, getting your starter kit, and reading to a couple people on your couch. It doesn't matter how many friends you know. It doesn't matter how much time you have or how much money you have, because when this is your freedom, you blast through mountains to get through those things. Will you allow me just a minute to share with you the perks of what a Young Living home-based business looks like? It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. There's no income ceiling. I mean, the income just keeps going up and up and up. Diamond in 2.5 years, and an average income of $30,000 a month is crazy. It's changed everything for us. It's changed our debt. It's changed where we can live. It's changed how we take care of our kids. It means freedom for me. No alarm clock every day. If you have a high stress job, oh my gosh, the freedom in that. To not feel tired all the time, to have the time to take care of your body, to have the time to pour into your spouse, to get on the floor and play with your kids, to have long faith talks with your teenagers late into the night because you don't have to get up the next day, to go on hikes in the woods with your family and not be worried about dashing from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. We live in the land of business and exhaustion. And I don't think that that's where the Lord wants us to be. The timing is great. I mean, Young Living's been around for over 20 years. I got in 2 years ago, and I'm in the top less than 1% of the company. So when you start, it doesn't mean anything. The product is easy to share because everybody is looking for a chemical-free lifestyle. And oils are the purest substance on the planet. They're incredible. People are label reading. They're paying attention to what's in their food and what they're putting on their bodies. So if you have ever met anyone that's not banned chemicals from the threshold of their doors, then that's a potential person for you to speak to about oils. You're your own boss. You set your own hours. I didn't realize how good that felt until I woke up one morning and I came out and I looked outside and I saw the sunrise. And I realized for 18 years of anchoring news, I had always been in a room with no windows when the sun was rising. And on the weekends, I was so tired I slept through it. It had been so long since I'd seen the sunrise. It's these little tiny things that bless you so much when you get released from the burden of that 9 to 5, 40-hour-a-week grind. A willable income. In my opinion, this is the best perk to Young Living, the best out there. What that means is when you die, your income goes to your kids. When you get over a certain threshold, that income goes to your children every single month. So at our income, my children would have $5,000 or $6,000 a month forever. There is no job on the earth that does that other than network marketing. My 401k would be gone in 6 months, and I've spent 10 years saving that. It would be gone. Having a home-based business is like having a storefront in your downtown, and when you're gone, your employees are running it for you. It's amazing. It's still generating income. It's incredible. You can take time off and still get paid because you're the boss. You decide when you're going to work. Relationships. It is so deeply expanded my friend circle and the friends that I've met along the way and the people that I've been able to see their lives change, their friends for life. And financial freedom. You can't free others when you are in bondage. Okay, you can't take care of the widows and the sick and the poor when you're in survival mode all the time. So here is your task. Here's a little tiny version of my book called Your Game Plan. If you don't get a copy today, I want you to go to Amazon and go get this book off of Amazon, Your Game Plan. It's just a few dollars. Will you read this and just get lost in the possibility of hope? Will you let me pour a little sunshine on your face and show you where this can go if you take this seriously? This can go so much farther than a starter kit. Allow me to pour into you. We love you. We're part of your Young Living family and your Young Living community, and we want to come alongside you for all of Team Young Living and show you that this is possible. It doesn't matter who you know. It doesn't matter how much time you have or where you live or how much money you have. All it takes is passion. Passion and compassion for where people are. If you have that, we can show you how to do this. Go grab your game plan and have an awesome, awesome day, because what a year you have ahead. What a year. You get to experience the oils and maybe even take it farther and get your oils for free.